Sometimes clients ask me whether they should be working off of full notes or whether they should just keep bullet points handy. So today we're talking about whether you should be scripting your videos. Let's get right into it. If you're new here, hi, my name is Liz. I help coaches and consultants add video to their business. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss any of my future content. Now, this issue of whether we should script or not script is very controversial, and it really gives people anxiety when they first start getting on video. Now, I absolutely understand the rationale for wanting to script out your videos. You don't forget anything, it might look a little bit more polished, and you can get a nice cohesive message within your video. However, there are tons of drawbacks to scripting your videos, which is one of the reasons that I never script my videos, and I don't teach my students to do that either. One of the drawbacks of it is the fact that you need the time to actually script out a full-length document for any of your videos. That's one thing. Not only that, but you have to spend so much time trying to get all of those points into your head. I find it incredibly stressful trying to memorize a script or really kind of plant that into my mind. I find it a complete waste of my brain power. Instead of that, what I always recommend you do is script out certain portions of it and bullet point the rest of it. That way, what you end up doing over time is giving yourself the ability to always be camera ready. You will never be in a situation where you are dependent on a script in order to just shoot a video. You can press record and be ready to go quite spontaneously and without a lot of preparation. So let's talk about some of the ways that you can get over this whole concept of having to script a video. Let's jump right into it. Now, as I mentioned, there are a couple places in the video where it is sometimes worth it to create a little bit of a script. So that means just going to your word processor and then just typing out generally what you would like to say, and then reading that over a whole handful of times until you almost have it memorized. So those areas are your intro, meaning your opening 3 to 4 lines, your personal introduction in case you have one of those in your video, and the extreme ending, including your call to action and the way that you are wrapping up your video. Now, these 3 things are totally critical in every video. The opening is what actually captures people's attention and determines whether they're going to watch any of it. Your personal intro is your elevator pitch. Sometimes you don't get a second opportunity to make that impression, so that's an important moment within your video. And your lasting final impression before you sign off in your video. You don't want to forget a certain call to action that you want to add there, or some really distinctive way you have of wrapping up your video. So that's also another really key area. So when you script out those areas, you can really kind of hone them in. It's probably only a couple sentences and you can ensure that you don't forget anything. Those are the only areas of a video that I would really recommend that you even consider any type of a script. The other parts of your video, I truly believe, should work off of bullet points. So in the first place, when you are doing your research or creating your outline about how you want your video to flow, you should be having a couple of bullet points that you are going to be talking about. Now, definitely put those down on paper or type them out somewhere, your main couple of points and then your sub points under them. It is worth it to read that over a few times. So when you are reading that over, it shouldn't be a full script like blah, 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 period, blah, 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 comma, not like that. Because when you read that, you are going to try to memorize it, and then you are putting a ton of pressure on yourself to memorize this entire document and then try to regurgitate it here once you press record. Instead of that, the point is to read your outline over a couple times, and if you are still developing camera confidence, to try practicing it with those bullet points in mind. It's really an issue of keeping your laptop off to the side, out of the frame of the camera, and then just referencing them while you are shooting, if that's possible to do some editing later, or to just jot those main bullet points down on a piece of paper and keep it stuck with a piece of tape near your camera lens so that you can quickly just look at it. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you can actually reference notes while you're creating a video. That's for another day. Basically, my point here is that when you are preparing to shoot, you should have read that outline a whole handful of times. Once you've read it to yourself a few times, then actually those points will flow more naturally when you are actually recording. It will sound absolutely more natural than if you tried to script out anything, because you're actually not working off of a script. You are going to be speaking naturally because you've got those bullet points in your head and you are just speaking to the camera about the connection between them all. The delivery between a person who is talking from a script or has prepared from a script or is speaking naturally to the camera is like night and day. People never admit it if they are used to using a script, but it is true. We all know that it's true when we watch videos. You can absolutely tell whether somebody has spent time trying to memorize all of these different sentences and put it together, or if they just have a bunch of points in their mind that they want to share with their audience and they're speaking naturally. Once you develop this ability to speak more naturally just based off of a handful of points, the number of opportunities for you to use video increases tenfold. Imagine how easy it becomes for you to actually do a live stream if you are used to just speaking with a couple of bullet points handy. If you become so accustomed to having a script every single time you want to create a video, then you are going to be dependent on that and you will totally be held back, held hostage by that need. You won't be able to create live, spontaneous videos or be able to do natural camera work just when an opportunity calls for it. So this is one of the main reasons I encourage you not to get into that habit of creating a full script and instead always just kind of work off of bigger outlines. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is that if you are speaking at great length in a video, like let's say for an hour, about a whole bunch of topics that you know that you won't have an opportunity to send for editing later, then yes, it might be worth it to use something like a teleprompter so that you can just have all of the points without trying to memorize it or being worried that you will forget about it. Or if you are creating a video about some very complex topics like something scientific or some topic that has a lot of industry jargon or complex words or terms that you don't want to forget or lose, then of course it might be worth it to add a little bit more scripting. But for the average person like you and me that just wants to share ideas with our audience so that we can help them to move forward with things, then just work with an outline. We're interrupting this video so that I can remind you to subscribe to this channel. I think you should do that first. And if you're interested in getting started with video and setting up your own home studio, make sure that you look for the resource in the description below so that I can send you that right away. Now let's get back to our video. One thing that I encourage you to remember is that video and video creation, video marketing, that is a lifelong skill. If you are deciding to use video for your business, then as you get more comfortable on video, you will hopefully be looking for as many ways as possible to get on video and to make use of these platforms. It is really hard to do that if you are held hostage by needing a script all the time. Once you've developed that camera confidence, you will be able to speak just with the very minimal number of notes and references in front of you, and that just gives you so much freedom. So if you like this video, I hope that you'll give it a like and share it off with one of your friends. Don't forget to subscribe because every Tuesday I bring you a new video teaching you how you can add video to your business. So until next time, take care.